I wanted to talk about the kindness of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas today. And so yesterday I encouraged you to reflect on that, looking at your own life. But when you think of how hard they practiced the path, and it was for our benefit, it wasn't for their own personal benefit, it was completely for the benefit of sentient beings. And then to teach the path, you know. And so we have the kindness of the Buddha in teaching the path. You know, he was enlightened by the normal view at age 35, and then spent 45 years after that teaching, but wandering around teaching all different kinds of people, you know, and what energy that took, what kindness it was. Many people go all around talking, you know, giving seminars on how to make more money and how to, you know, get out of your lawsuit and so on, you know, and all the drug companies they travel, you know, the doctors and the pharmaceutical companies travel and have big luncheons and explain what the new medicine is and, you know, get the doctors to go and advocate for it and things like that. So but the Buddha traveled. He didn't ask for any money in the process of it. He had nothing to sell, and he completely just gave the Dharma to whoever was there and open and receptive. Yeah? And then you have this whole lineage starting from the Buddha coming down to us of masters who similarly, you know, worked very hard in the path to actualize it and then taught without any concern for their own benefit. Yeah, without living in lavish palaces, you know, lavish palaces and avoiding paying income tax at the same time, you know, as a result of doing their vast seminars, but, you know, just forgetting a few numbers here and there. You know, these are people who just completely taught for the benefit of others. And so because of their kindness, 2,600 years of kindness of these people teaching not only teaching the Dharma, but practicing it themselves, writing commentaries on it, explaining, clarifying questions, guiding disciples. Because of all of their kindness, then we have the Dharma today. So it's very important for us to think, you know, what would have happened if the Buddha had not taught the Dharma. You know, as the story goes, when he first got enlightened, he said, I'm not going to teach because nobody's going to understand. Now, what would have happened to us if the Buddha had not taught the Dharma? Yeah, if there had been a Buddha in this world, but he had not taught the Dharma. Or what would have happened if the Buddha had taught the Dharma and there was no lineage coming down to us? Yeah? So when you think about this, you know, what would my life be like? What would the difference in my life be if I were born still at the same time, but there's no teachings around? Okay, so that helps us to see the kindness of the Buddha and the kindness of the Sangha, you know, because it was the Sangha, you know, those who had the realization of emptiness, who are able to really understand it and then teach it to others. Then we have the kindness of the regular Sangha, the monastic community, because it was often these people who wrote the teachings down, you know, and then printed them and edited them and all these kinds of things. So there's a lot of kindness involved in our having access to the teachings nowadays. Yeah. So it's important to see that kindness of the three jewels and really feel that in our heart so that we feel this connection and regard for them and appreciation. And you really understand why, you know, His Holiness sometimes says that he has to thank Mao Zedong because due to Mao Zedong he was able to make so many other friends, meaning us. So in a very strange way, we have to thank Mao Zedong as well. Otherwise, the Dharma would still be locked in Tibet you know, and we would not have access to it. You know? And so, you know, just to think about that, and yeah, how much we have received throughout the years.